Good morning, Inkies. This is just a PSA to let you know that this video is a chatty video and it is not something that you need to be physically watching constantly. There are bits and pieces that I show you towards the front, but a lot of it is just me talking about an idea and throwing some ideas out to you. So if you want to get your journal out and sort of journal along while I chat to you, you're more than welcome. Do your dishes, whatever you need to be doing while listening to me babble along about a project that is scaring me and inspiring me all at the same time. So that's just gonna let this slide in here first and let's get on with the video. Good morning, Inkies. I hope you are well. Today we're going to tackle the idea behind the journal spill. Now, I have had this idea bubbling around in my head probably for a good 6 to 8 months of last year, and I started it and I didn't start it. I tried to get to the point where I was like, yep, I'm gonna make a video. But I've gotten to the point now where sometimes my ideas just don't come together in a cohesive way in which I want to show you in video form. And that's the same with the Creature Reimagined. I have a certain way I like to teach you guys. I want to be clear and concise so that I give you as much information as I can without sort of jumping around and sounding like a crazy person. And that video is at that crazy person stage. I've got the girls creating creatures out of bits and pieces on camera. I've got ideas in my head. I've got a digital portion, so that it's just, there comes a time when I'm like, I don't know how to put this together. So I thought I'd tackle this video first before I got my ideas organized for the Creature Reimagined. And I know everyone is busting to see it. I get it. It's very much my heart song. Creatures are everything to me, and so that's why I spend so much time agonizing over, is it going to be good enough? Are they going to understand it? Is it going to inspire anyone? Am I just talking out my butt? So I thought I'd tackle something in a crazy, jumbled, chatty way, because the chatty videos are seeming to be everyone's favorite. My desk is still a mess from when I was doing my hobo video, but it's getting to the point where I've got so much extra stuff and just bits and pieces of paper that kind of have no home, that it's just time to start working in this big beauty. Now, I got this from Morgan Le Fay's Trinkets, or Lady Falcon Travelers. This is an A3 sized traveler's notebook. It's going to be very hard to show you. So I've got 2 elastics, one in the top, one in the bottom. I did ask her for hot pink and she delivered and put like a gold sort of shimmery mottled effect on it. And then I've already like started sort of building some, not building, but like I created some pages in here because this is so big. I had to sew pieces of paper together. So I painted a whole heap of watercolor paper and I cut them down, and then I sewed them almost. I sewed 2 pieces of paper together with like a band of watercolor paper. So it's been sewed down, and some of them I've actually just sort of washi taped. Some of them I've used all red thread on all of them. So there's a mixture of pink and black. There's also a mixture of smaller size pages mixed in with larger pages, and that's kind of like a base. So I've got a big secretarial pocket here and a big side pocket here. This thing is massive. I'm gonna have such a hard time filming with it when we do get into this. Now, this is where my brain takes me, especially when I'm sort of not thinking about things. In high school, I carried around a ring binder. This binder was absolutely packed to the brim with my life. It was kind of like a ongoing journal, but at the same time it collected memories and facts and things. It was like a commonplace book that was ever evolving before those things were something. And I wish so hard that I had kept it. And because it was a ring binder, I could take things out and put things in, and I had things in sections, I had tabs, I had it all, and it was always evolving and it went everywhere with me. It wasn't anything fancy. It was just one of those black marbled huge ring binders, not the small sort of little size, the really big chunky size. And I had things in plastic sleeves, and I had like letters and things, and everything and anything went into this binder. And it was one of my favorite memories and things that I had throughout my years in high school. And I think I carried the same binder for a good 3-4 years before it literally fell apart from the weight of my life, basically. So I kind of wanted to recreate that, and I kind of want to bring in remains of the day ideas because that's sort of the same sort of feeling. I want there to be sewn elements because I love the way that sewn things look together. I like the idea of having photographs and artwork and poetry and ephemera all sort of colliding together inside this huge thing. Now I want it to be sectioned because I want some order to it. This is where my brain was worrying that I was just going to start blah, 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 basically verbal vomiting, because I have so many ideas. And when I get so many ideas, I sort of trip over myself trying to work out exactly what I want. And so I thought this video would be a good way to sort of work things out in my head, talk it out verbally, instead of it just sort of rattling around in my brain for months on end. I have so much overflow of photographs from my wedding, family photographs, prints of planners and journals and things that never made it into any journal, and they're just sort of all existing within drawers basically in my studio. I also have like books that I've picked up that I want to use in some way, shape or form, and I want to like gut and use in a journal. So I think, did I buy it? It was this one that I bought. And I was like, maybe I can cut these up and put them into a journal. And I feel bad about doing it, but at the same time, they're not doing me any good inside a book. I also bought this one when I was in New York, and this has got like painted papers and like words and things. And I think this is meant to be a journal. Oh, I love that little red binding. But I am not going to use it in this form. It's not going to happen. I've also got the Year of the Doodle, which has got like days and things, numbers, all that sort of stuff that's sort of sitting here doing nothing. I have all these ephemera books. I've got like IKEA books. I've got old books. I've got so much. I've got painted papers, originals from collage sheets, you name it, it is lying around here, and I want to put them in something that means something instead of all these separate entities just sort of cluttering up my space. And this is why I wanted to do the journal spill. And I have a lot of journals. I journal in a lot of places. I have my Hobo, I have my Weekly, I have my B6, but there are things that get lost. Almost like if you've seen the Mary Poppins, the new one, where the lost things go, this is where the lost things are going to go. And I love the idea of that because I feel like I'm forever collecting. I'm just putting those books down. I feel like I'm forever collecting things and ephemera and photographs. I have so much, it's overwhelming. And it needs to become something, or it needs to just leave. And so I want it to become something, and I want it to become something beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, as well as heartfelt and sentimental. And so I wanted to sort of, I think, how many signatures are in here? How many strings? I think we've only got 3. Yeah. Oh no, 1. We got 4. So essentially I could make 4 sections for now, and then if I need more I can then add like tabs into those sections. But I want stuff for family life. I want stuff for inspiration, like I want an inspiration section, and I want that to be devoted to like photography and poetry and quotes that I love and that sort of thing. And then I want sort of there are so many things. My brain just goes into overdrive. I want there to be like artworks and stuff that are in here that I've just got lying around. Like I've got originals from collage sheets lying around. I've just got so much, but I know that the 2 sections I want are going to be family and the inspiration section. But then I think about colliding them all together and just having it all as one thing, one component, and that's where my brain just goes and does like 100 million miles an hour, and I can't seem to control my brain enough to work it out. So journal spilling is going to become a thing. I am going to probably start this weekend. We're not going anywhere this weekend, so I'm hoping to be able to show you where my head's at. I have ideas of sewing photographs in like into a page spread and having like peekaboo holes, so they're not like a wall of pictures, that they're sewn in a way where there's holes left out. I want to washi tape things, I want to paint things, I want to draw over things. I even feel overwhelmed just talking to you guys about this video, and that's why I have held off so long about making this video, because I haven't gotten where I want this to go. But if I don't start taking those steps and jumping into the fear hole, it's never going to become something. And I wanted 2019 to be a year where I jumped with fear in my heart, because otherwise I'm going to be stagnant. I started my Etsy store. Yep, there's one file in there, but I started and the world didn't end, and I made a few sales, and I can now go forward and build on that. But it was those first steps that were literally crippling me with anxiety. And this is kind of the same. It's not as intense as the Etsy fear, but the fact that I haven't done anything with it, but I keep talking about it, means it's on my mind and I need to do something with that, instead of just sitting around sort of going, oh yeah, this is a project I want to do, this is a project I want to do, and then like never completing it. I always pick this up. I pick this up at least once a week. I flip through it, I think about it, I ponder about it, and then I put it back and go, okay, I'll work it out later. But I need to sort of work things out now and start taking charge of the crazy ideas that are zooming around my head before someone decides they want to take charge and do it themselves, and then suddenly they're doing all the stuff and I'm still sitting here in the corner of my studio looking at this beautiful big pink book and doing nothing about it. And I don't want that to be my 2019. I don't want my 2019 watching other people get inspired by things I've said and chase my project ideas away from me. And I think that's kind of one of the things that I've been most stressed about, is constantly talking about project ideas and then never actually getting them done, and then I see it somewhere else and go, oh, well, that was what I was going to do, but I never got around to doing it, so I can't be hurt because it's my own fault for not taking charge of my fear and jumping in head first. I hope that makes sense, because I feel very stripped bare admitting that out loud, but I need it to be said for my own ears as well as your ears as well. Because I am a woman that is constantly trying to recreate the wheel. I'm constantly trying to think of ideas on how I can inspire you, how I can show you different ways of journaling, how I can change your perspective on things or give you a new perspective on something that you didn't realize. I'm always in thinking mode on how can this help someone else while also helping me. And I know this book will help me, one, not get rid of my clutter, but will help me contain it. And I can work out the best way of keeping things that I want to keep and discarding things that I don't want to keep. And we're not getting all Marie Kondo on you, but I definitely have an overwhelming amount of ephemera and photographs and just lost things that are just piling up on my shoulders and making me super, super stressed. And I know that this could be something totally beautiful, but I just needed to start taking those steps. And I am going to quote our Monday mantra. I need to be brave enough to do this and know that it may not look good. It may not feel amazing and look amazing in my first few tries, because it's something new, it's something I haven't done before, and it's something that I haven't quite worked out how I want it to look or how I want it to go, but I'm never gonna know unless I start trialing and erroring. So this series on the journal spill will be very, very experimental and very, very trial and error. So I'm going to be learning as I go, but I'm going to be showing that learning process. I am going to tell you right now that this is not going to be a polished, finished, perfect, amazing project. It's not going to be, and I hope that's okay, because sometimes I need to take risks artistically, and it's not even a risk because it should be fun and playful and just, but I need to do something with this before it just turns into another lost thing, and I don't want that to happen because I feel like it has such potential to be such an amazing interactive book. And I definitely am going to give Josie's Muse a shout out for the A3 idea. Obviously hers is a huge beautiful illustration sketchbook, but I have decided to take the A3 into my own work and to create something like almost like a I don't even know what it's going to be. I can only think of the word journal spilling, because it's my life that's spilling out from the excess parts of my life that didn't fit into, you know, it didn't fit in here and it didn't fit in here and it doesn't have anywhere to live, and it hasn't fitted into any of my other journals, but it needs to fit somewhere. So I want to fit it into something before it just becomes like lost and forgotten and just not loved. And I've got so much stuff. Like I thought about one of these sections being called Memory Lane, because some of the photos that are in there are so old, and I think that that's what stopped me from journaling in them, because I'm kind of like journaling, even though I don't chronologically journal with like this thing, I don't generally use old photos. I don't go back through my drawers and pick out old photos unless I really want to. And I think there's maybe like a wedding photo in here recently when I was doing the gratitude stuff. Yeah, like this was from my drawer of photographs that just have been sitting in my drawer, and the only reason why was because I was reflecting on being grateful for something, and it's definitely probably the only one and only time. And then that's a super old photo of Lige. Both of these are all old photos. Like my Lige's like in high school now, and this is him as a baby. So unless I'm reflecting like that, these old photos don't see the light of day. And I have a metric ton of them just floating around. Yes, I could put them in a photo album, but that's not who I am. I want to do something creative with them. I want to sort of sew them all together in almost like a patchwork, and then maybe write something on my iPad with my own handwriting, get that transferred onto a clear acetate sheet and tape that over the photographs. So it's kind of like getting my journaling out, but still doing it in an artistic, creative way, if you understand what I mean. So they're the types of things that I want to do and play with in this giant journal. I have so many like poetry quotes that I love that I've just been sort of collecting. There'd probably be like book quotes, and yes, I can definitely put some of these in here, but there are just times when I just want to have some play, and I think playing a huge book like this could be something that could be amazing and scary and different. And I just keep thinking about that ring binder that I had in school that I loved and cherished and was always in it. I was always writing in it. I was always adding to it. I was always seeing what else I could put it. And I always loved sitting there and thumbing through the pages. There was pages and pages of writing and drawings and photocopies of things, and I didn't obviously have that many photographs because it wasn't as easily accessible as how it is now to print photographs. It still cost quite a bit of money to print photographs back then, and I was a high school student working on a really low paid job when I got some time, when I got some shifts. So there wasn't heaps of photos in there, but it didn't stop me from drawing. It didn't stop me from photocopying things at school. I had like old assignments in there, and it was just a morphing, growing. It reminds me of the Hogwarts staircase and how it moves and changes and shifts depending on where you are, what day it is. That was that binder, and that's how I want this book to be. I want it to be a tapestry of my life, past, present, future. I want it to be a commonplace book. I want it to be beautiful to look at and beautiful to sort of hold. I want it to be thick and filled with color and life and texture. It's kind of going to be almost like a junk journal, but on like steroids, and not not like the traditional junk journal, but it's kind of like my life junk that's going in here, but a whole lot more than that. I feel exhausted just talking about it, but at the same time, my creative fire is like blazing talking about it. And these are the sorts of things that I just need to make these videos in order to talk to you about it, because if I don't make these videos, then I'm never going to get the guts to just sit down and play. I am going to be sewing things together. I'm going to be pulling out my collage drawers. So this is kind of just like an introduction video. It's something for you to listen to. I will actually put a snippet at the front saying this is a chatty video. You don't need to be looking at what I'm saying, because there's like little bits of showing you things, but generally it's me just talking about my ideas. And I also like making these videos because you guys are such fantastic sounding boards that you throw ideas at me that I haven't come up with or haven't thought of, because we all experience life differently. We all create differently. We all have different but similar interests. So something that you may love, I may never have heard of, and go, this could be a great idea. Here's where to look. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I haven't done anything except construct some of the blanker pages. But I do want input on if you've got an idea so that I can think about it. I'm actually going to sit down and do like a mapping out video, probably the next video when I start sewing things together, just to sort of get a little bit of, what's the word? Not a little bit of an idea, almost like a map for myself of what I want. I just knew that I wanted sections or tabs, kind of. I don't want it to be too organized, because I feel if once I put too many rules and regulations, not even rules, but too many boundaries on this book, it could stifle the creative idea. I don't even know where my Remains of the Day book is. It's not anywhere that I can actually see it, so I can't show you, but I've shown that journal a lot in previous videos. It's one of my favorite things to flick through, and I want a giant version of it. Basically, it will be a little different. It won't be like daily journaling like this. It'll be a lot about reflecting, because a lot of the stuff is old. Almost all of it is old. And then I've got like scrapbook papers and everything. I kind of want to do it all. And I want it to just be constantly moving and morphing and stuff like that. Like handouts that I got handed, like printed for classes and things that I no longer need. There's sorts of things that I just want them to have a home. I don't want them to be sort of floating around my space, making me anxious, and me trying to find a new system, a new filing system, a new organization system to keep them at bay. It's very much a use it or lose it situation with this, because it's getting to the point where I'm tired of trying to find homes for this stuff. So I want to either home it in here or let it go. Obviously photographs are a different thing, but I definitely think and feel that I have too much stuff. Like I have down here at my feet, I have like a huge tub at my feet with just printouts, collage sheets, papers, everything, and the kitchen sink is sort of just sitting here. I've got printed papers, I've got stuff that parcels have come in and I've folded the paper down to use. I've got Daiso stickers, I've got everything, and that's just one tub that's at my feet. I have a whole set of collage drawers that are literally bursting at the seams with paper, ephemera, photographs, this sort of stuff. It just needs to be made into something instead of just floating bits. So that's 23 minutes that I don't know that you're going to enjoy. I really hope you do, but I need my voice. Let me just pull out one of my collage drawers to show you the chaos that I am living with right now. So this is one drawer in my collage drawer. I've got random bits of ephemera from jewelry I've purchased. I've got little things from my little calendar that I got in the stationery selection box. I've got old, not even old, I've got some of the Christmas things you guys have sent me that I'm like, I need to put that in a safe place. So I put it in my collage drawers because I know they won't go anywhere. I've got a Pandora stuff. I've got lots of bits and pieces. I've got stuff from Mrs. Brimbles in here when she sent me a beautiful letter. And Anna, I need to send you a letter back. I'm a terrible human. I have collage sheet stuff. paper bags from orders that I've been sent that I just can't bear to go and throw away. I've got ephemera that you guys have sent me. I'm pretty sure that's from Anna E. Yep. And these are the sorts of things that I need to start just putting together in my journals. I've got like backgrounds from like Monday mantras and things, and your collage sheets. All the originals are sort of floating around. Just random bits and pieces that sort of have zero home. Old photographs from my honeymoon, which was 4 years ago. Currently 4 years ago this month, just gone, I was in New York for my honeymoon. I have bits of my Studio Ghibli stuff that should be in my Japan journal. I was a patron of Lee Ellickson and got postcards from her, so I have random postcards. I've got, I just got so much stuff and it gets so stressful. You name it, it's in here. So this is the sort of stuff that I just need. I need it to be housed somewhere before I lose my marbles. Who's this one from? Ruth? Ruth. Sorry, I had to read that backwards. Just so much stuff. Things from Babette, from orders. I've got random little cards, gridded sticky notes. This is just one drawer, guys. This is just one drawer, and this is why I can't do this any longer. I've got to do something about it. I've got stationery selection box papers that I just adore, and I don't know why it's in here and not in my little stationery drawer. This is the card that actually came with my giant A3, and I've been hoarding it. I've got cute little cards from you guys. I try and keep everything, even though it looks really crazy and ridiculous. I do try and keep. Dearest Courtney, thank you for your order. You found exactly what you're looking for and you love them. Oh, and this is beautiful too. This is from Emily Pencil. Yeah. I just need to do something with all of this stuff, and I want it to be treated with respect, and at the moment this stuff is not being respected. There are things in here that are way more important than other things. Obviously the letters from you guys, photographs and things. Everything that's in here needs to either be used or it needs to be rehomed. Like, I love this so much. It's all about pressing flowers, which is something that I'm actually starting to look into, especially since I've got an obsession with drying them and keeping them. And I actually looked at buying a flower press when we were at the Mary Poppins thing, and I may actually go back and purchase it because I love the idea of having pressed flowers in my work, like real ones. And that's my idea. My brain is going, I would love to do pressed flowers. I would love to scan pressed flowers and use them in my work digitally. And yeah, this is where it all just seeps and runs around in my head and sends me crazy. And I need it to stop doing that, and I need to just start working out. I would have to bring out one drawer and start sewing things together or discarding them depending on what they are. And I need some organization, and I need to start just using these little things and creating almost like patchwork pages and then going from there. And I want to do it soon before I get an episode of Hoarders starts again and I'm being crushed by my own paper ephemera. See, like, remember, I keep pulling this out and I never use it anywhere, and I need to start putting these things somewhere. And so I want it to be in that giant TN. I want to make something out of my little bits of nothing to make them big somethings. And I kind of want to take you on the journey to show you it from scratch. Obviously, I filmed me painting and sewing those pages, but I cannot find the footage anywhere. And I did this like last year sometime, so I'm just gonna let it go. I can't find the footage. It wasn't that interesting anyway, but this is a series that I want to let it grow organically, but I don't want it to be where I do one video on it and then you never see it again for 6 months. No, I want to be like working on this a lot, and I have so many journals on the go at the moment, it's overwhelming. But I think if I dedicate like a certain day to working on this, so say like my Thursday can be the journal spill day where I sit down and work on it and sew things, and I can sort of do like updates vlog style while showing you how things are going. And I just want it to be something. And I have so many cute and beautiful bits of ephemera and postcards and things like this, and like just stuff that can be so, it may look like a mess here, but I think it will be beautiful when it's all brought together. And I want to magically see that in my head happen. So give me your ideas. I know there's no creating in this video, but I think I needed to do something with regards to this project before it ate me alive, and before I just decided not to do it. And this is what happens with me. I get so built up with anxiety over a project that I just go, nah, not doing it, and I walk away. And I was getting to the point with this project, even though it makes me excited and it makes me want to dive in, the whole unknown and it may not looking great at the start has stopped me from making these videos and making this happen. So I'm prefacing this with, this will be an experimentation series. I cannot guarantee you that the results are going to be beautiful and fantastic and amazeballs, but I can guarantee you a lot of paper porn, a lot of journal porn, and a lot of fun. So throw me some ideas if you think there's something that I can do in this book that you think would look good. Do you have the inclination to do this? Please don't go out and buy an A3TN for this. They are flippin' expensive, and I don't want to be responsible for that. If you've got something that you could literally just put it in an A5 and do an A5 version. I just have too much. I need to go big or go home. And I'm so tired of having all the bits and pieces sort of lying around. I just want them to be something. So please show me your ideas, tell me your ideas, and let me know if you're interested in making your own journal spill. So I know this is not the most creative video that you're going to get, but after last Wednesday's hour-long photo tutorial combo, and I was a little bit burnt out editing with all the bits and pieces that you've got to do there, I needed to do something that didn't require a lot of work, because I also have collage sheets coming up next Wednesday for you guys. So I thought I would get this video out and up, as well as talking about the Illustrating Your Life video, which will be a bonus for you. I thought between the two, you guys would get a lot of sort of inspiration and chatty, talky videos about this sort of stuff. It makes me happy to listen to other people talk about it, so I assume you guys enjoy hearing me babble about it. So that is it for this video. I'm going to leave this out because I want to start sewing things this weekend and putting things together and trying to work out where this is going to take me. It's going to be a mixture of vintage, I think, because I have all these beautiful brown tones that I absolutely love and the pressed flowers. And then it's going to be all crazy and colorful and monster driven, and it's just, there are so many facets to my personality. This book is going to show them all. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, Inkies. I hope you enjoy the Illustrating Your Life bonus video where I show you some book porn and my hobos and all that sort of stuff. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Next Wednesday's video is collage sheet day. Your calendar should be up by tomorrow. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon. This project excites me and petrifies me all in the same breath.